back again from the Mulligan, and I've got another Booster Tutor for you today. Just going to go through another Kaladesh pack and sort of see what the best picks are. So we'll get that one open. So to start the pack off, we've got a 9th Bridge Patrol. So he's a 2 cost, a white and a colourless for a 1/1. He's a Dwarf Soldier. He has, whenever another creature you control leaves the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on 9th Bridge Patrol. So not a bad card there, in that if stuff around your board's getting wiped out, he's going to get stronger. Great if you're going for that servo sort of strategy, or even Dwarves Tribal. Next up, we've got Aether Theorist. So when he enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy. You can tap, pay 1 energy to scry 1. He's a 2 cost, a colourless and a blue for a 1/3. Very, very good blue card there, guys. Card selection is always supreme. And then even if you don't want to spend your energy scrying, usually you can find something else good to do with it in blue as well. So not a bad card there. Next up, we've got Spireside Infiltrator. So he's a 3-drop, 2 colourless and a red for a 3/2. So when he becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So nice card there for that vehicles theme, in that when you crew, you're going to deal that damage. Not a bad card overall. Probably wouldn't be my first pick though. Next up, we got Sky Swirl Harrier. So he's a 5-drop for a 3/4, 4 colourless and a white. Has flying. So never underestimate flying, guys. Obviously, you've got to build a good sort of strategy to support it. Have a nice ground presence, but flying is often hard to deal with, especially at the draft level, and especially if people sort of aren't ready for that. So not a bad card. Next up, we've got Fortuitous Find. So it's a 3-drop for a sorcery, 2 colourless and a black. Has choose 1 or both. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand, and return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. So this probably wouldn't be a first pick for me, in that it's not going to do a lot unless you build a specific strategy around it. If you're already sitting in some artifacts, that's great. Might be worth taking, but I wouldn't be first picking this one, guys. So next up, we've got Ornamental Courage. So it's a 1 cost spell, a green for an instant. Untap target creature, it gets +1/+3 until end of turn. So this is a very nice combat trick. You can be really aggressive with some of your green creatures, and then when your opponent thinks that they get to swing back in for free, untap them, gets a heap of defense until the end of the turn, and that +1 should definitely put you over the edge to deal some damage. So not a bad card there, guys. Remember, you can also use this on your turn if you want to crew something into an expensive vehicle and then attack with it as well. Just sequence those events in the right order. So next up, we've got Live Fast. So this is a very good card. It's a sorcery, cost 3, so 2 colourless and a black. Has you draw 2 cards, lose 2 life, and get 2 energy. So 1 life for 1 card's always been a very good rate. The 2 energy on top is just fantastic. If you compare this with any sort of energy theme, just a great card to have. Next up, we've got Sage of Saheeli's Claim. So he's a 2-drop for a 2/1, colourless and a green. When he enters the battlefield, you get 3 energy. So if you really want to supplement that sort of energy style deck, might be worth taking it. Probably wouldn't be a first pick though. Next up, we've got Foundry Screecher. So he's 2 colourless and a black, has flying for a 2/1, and when he Foundry Screecher gets +1/+0 as long as you control an artifact. So a pretty easy sort of thing to facilitate. There are plenty of great artifacts, even if you're not going for a full artifact themed deck in Kaladesh, and as I said, never underestimate that flying. Next up, we've got Glint Sleeve Artisan. So he's a 2/2 for 3, 2 colourless and a white, has Fabricate 1. So you can either give yourself a +1/+1 counter or create a 1/1 colourless servo. So never underestimate utility. If you need something a little bit bigger than your opponent's creatures, that's great, you can get him out. Otherwise, if you need to go a little bit wider or throw out some chump blockers, you can do that as well. Very good 3-cost card there, guys. We've got Aether Torch Renegade. So he's a 1/2 for 3, 2 colourless and a red. When he enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy, and you can pay 2 energy to deal 1 damage to target creature, or you can pay, looks like 8 energy to deal 6 damage to target player. So a great way to sort of finish off your opponent if you need to get them down at the end of those energy decks, but probably wouldn't be a first pick from me. Our next uncommon is Perpetual Timepiece, so it's a 2-drop for an artifact. You can tap it, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. You can also pay 2 to exile it, shuffle any number of target cards from your graveyard into your library. Probably not very good at draft level, it's not going to facilitate much for you. If you've gone really hard into a reanimator type deck, maybe, but I just wouldn't be picking this card either, guys. So our next uncommon is Visionary Augmenter. He's a 2/1 for 4, so 2 and 2 colorless, has Fabricate 2, so he can either put 2 +1/+1 counters on itself or put out 2 servos. So this guy again, utility is always the name of the game. Probably being a 2/1 he's a little weak, but creating 2 1/1s is always fantastic. Probably would be looking at Glitch Sleeve Artisan over this guy just because he fits into the curve a bit better. Alright guys, let's check out our rare for this pack. So we're looking at the Squall Ancient. It's a 7-drop, so rather costly for a 6/6. It's a Leviathan that has flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, generate 3 energy, and then pay 8 energy, return all other creatures to their owner's hand, activate this ability only anytime you can cast a sorcery. So not a bad card there, guys. I really like the Squall Ancient. I feel like it's a great card at draft and even for some fun constructed decks. Very cool card there, guys. And we've got an island and a promo card.
So unsurprisingly, guys, my pick for this pack is the Squall Ancient. I'm a little bit biased in that I'm a blue mage and I really enjoy this card in a especially fun constructed deck I have. Can never underrate the power of flying. Energy is just such a strong mechanic. Even outside of red-green, it's still fantastic in blue. Some awesome sort of mill effects and scrying that you can do. Control, you can finish the game just by controlling it out. If you've got enough enter the battlefield effects for generating energy, you can essentially reset the board during your turn every turn. And those enter the battlefield effects such as generating energy or even Fabricate is just fantastic with this card. Too hard for me to pass up. This would be what I'd be trying to draft around. Yeah, just a fantastic card. Alright guys, you enjoy the rest of your day and cheers.